So today I'd like to talk about empathy in the workplace. And CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, talked a lot about the importance of empathy at his MIT convocation speech. What we know is that with empathy, what does it do in the workplace? It fosters greater collaboration, people are under less stress, greater morale, and employees bounce back quicker when there is empathy. But it's one thing for a CEO to know that empathy is needed and another thing to have it implemented. So let's say a CEO decides that that's something that needs to get done and implements a new empathy strategy. That can be kind of detrimental potentially, because then it becomes a bit of, this is what the expectation is, and that comes in conflict with maybe the pre-existing culture. But there's several things that can be done to start to increase empathy instead of being a directive, and we're going to be empathetic. So one thing that could be done is that, first of all, that acknowledging within the workplace, coming from the CEO all the way down to the front line, is that empathy can be learned. And like Carol Dweck talked about a little bit about, not a fixed mindset, but a growth mindset, so that any of us can learn to be more empathetic. So again, having that known in the environment. And secondly, another thing that leaders can do is to basically highlight the right norms. Sometimes what happens is the people that are maybe creating dissension in the workplace gets the airplay, but sometimes the people that are empathetic and kind, it's a little bit quiet. So finding those people and giving them incentives, using those individuals to help spread empathy is another thing that leaders can do. And then find people in the culture that are empathetic and co-create with them. And identifying your connectors, because there's always connectors, the people that are naturally doing it, and maybe you're not recognizing that they are quietly connecting and being empathetic. So these are some of the things that leaders can do. Again, going back to Tim Cook's convocation speech, we know that empathy makes things so much better at work, but instituting it without having a sense of where your culture is can be detrimental. So something to be thinking about as leaders. How is it that you promote empathy, and what kind of things might you consider implementing based on some of the things I suggested? Thank you. It's Roxanne from the Authentic Connection Movement.